Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series 2014 number 4 6-inch Chewbacca. Here's a look at the packaging. This figure is huge, definitely bigger than 6 inches, and I'm really digging the new blue accents on the 6-inch Black Series packaging. Looks really great, and of course the Disney logo is now in view. Alright you guys, so this is Hasbro's very first attempt at a 6-inch Chewbacca figure, and I must say the results are very, very, very nice. If you look at the sculpt on this figure, you can see for yourself that it's done very nicely. You know, just looking at the fur, the way that they sculpted it, you know, it's very, very meticulous. They did a really swell job, making this appear very lifelike and bringing the fur of the character to life. The silhouette is very nice. It's very lifelike, very nicely and proportionately done. And in addition, the coloring that they used here is very nice and truly matches what we saw on film. Quite a few Chewbacca figures have had coloring where there was, yellows and golds and other colors mixed in, but Hasbro really nailed it with this guy. You can see the chocolatey browns, the blacks. They did a really fantastic job with the coloring. Alright, y'all, so here's a close-up of Chewbacca's head. Again, very, very nicely done, and I'm really happy that they based this Chewbacca off A New Hope, which, is also very similar to his appearance in Empire Strikes Back. Of course, when you get to Return of the Jedi, he looks quite a bit different, and then Revenge of the Sith, he looks different too. So I think they picked the right film to base Chewbacca on, A New Hope. For this figure. I think it's definitely a little bit more universal than they had gone with the Return of the Jedi route. So looking at his face here, you can see that the eyes are pretty nicely done. They're not 100% even. The right eye, I think, is maybe just a little bit off-center, but, it doesn't look too bad. Same with the teeth. The paint isn't 100% dead on, but, it's passable. Looking at him from the side profile, you can definitely see that he's growling or, letting out some sort of a sound, which works. I think that if they did go back and do a closed-mouth Chewbacca, just by doing a new head, that would also look really nice as well. But, I can understand why they wanted to give him an open mouth, just to make him a little more action-oriented. I'll give you a look there at the back. The rest of the body, again, very nicely done. The job that they did sculpting the fur, really, really, really nice. The bandolier is actually removable if you wanted to take it off of him. And there is an indentation there on his fur, so it looks like it's matted down by the bandolier. So pretty nice job on Hasbro's part for doing that. So, I mean, you could pose him without the bandolier, but frankly, we never see him without it in the film, so this just looks a little bit strange. So I'm going to go ahead and get that back on him. The way that they draped the fur, on the hands makes it look pretty natural. It's not like, sticking downward or anything. So, I mean, it looks really nice. You can see his skin there on the hands and on the bottom of the feet as well. Truly terrific job with the coloring and sculpt. I really like this figure. In terms of articulation, Chewbacca has what seems like a ball joint here at the head. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of movement, just due to the way that it's sculpted. He has ball hinges here at the shoulders. He has hinges here at the elbows with a pretty nice range of movement. He's got hinges there at both of his hands. He has a hinge joint here at the upper torso. He has a hinge joint at the lower torso. He has ball hinges here at the hips, and you get a fairly good amount of movement. It's not terribly a whole lot, but it's good enough. You got cuts there at the upper thighs, ball hinges here at the knees, and he has hinges here at the feet, which are rocker slotted, so you can kind of move them back and forth. And of course, they are a bit restricted by the fur, but it doesn't really hinder his ability to stand because he does stand quite well. In terms of accessories, Chewbacca comes with a 3-piece bowcaster, and it's actually really nicely done. It's sculpted very nicely. The paint is pretty nice. It looks metallic, though I think in the film it did look more black, if I recall properly. To put it together, you simply take the scope and slide it in place. And there you go. Slides right in. And the bowcaster in the front, there's a little square right there, and it just kind of pegs in at the front. And it doesn't stay on all that well. I mean, if you knock it pretty easily, it comes off. But, you know, this is definitely a better design than what we've had for the longest time on the 3 3/4 scale line. Those bowcasters have been horrendously bad. And Chewbacca does have a hard time getting the bowcaster in his hand just because his hand is very, very stiff. So you kind of got to just play with it for a bit, you know, kind of bend the hands outward as best you can. And then, you know, just do your best to wedge it in. But once it's in there, he holds it very nicely. It's definitely not going anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars, the Black Series, 2014, number 4, 6-inch Chewbacca. All in all, I really like this figure. It's a very, very nicely sculpted figure. Paintwork on it is tremendously well done. Articulation is absolutely marvelous. There's not a whole lot I can really say about this figure that would make it any better. You know, maybe just a little bit cleaner of a paint application for the eyes and the teeth. But other than that, I really think that Hasbro nailed this 6-inch version of Chewbacca. He's definitely the best Chewbacca that Hasbro has ever done in any scale. I'm really liking the bandolier and the fact that it's removable, as well as the bowcaster, which is sculpted and designed very nicely. I hope that they take the bowcaster design for this figure and apply it to the 3 3/4 inch lines, because the bowcaster on those is horrible, and you know, if they applied this design to those figures, then you know, that would be a huge improvement. But you know, there's really not a whole lot else they can do to improve this guy. I can see them maybe at some point going back and doing a Return of the Jedi head, or you know, closed mouth design, both of which would look really good. But you know, this is a fantastic figure, and I'm absolutely pleased with the way that he came out, and would say that, hey, he's totally worth it. If you're collecting the 6-inch Black Series, or you're picking and choosing, either which way, you definitely want to have Chewbacca in your collection, because he is absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.